Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. So Teofimo Lopez looks like he's really trying to go up to 147 and pick up another strap. All this talk about chasing after Terrence Crawford, well, obviously those guys are going two different directions, you know what I'm saying, on divergent paths. But it looks like Teofimo is really looking to make a fight, I think, in this December against Brian Norman Jr. Now, of course, when you talk about Teofimo and other guys who bubbled up from 135 to 140, like Devin Haney, Ryan, everybody seems when things don't go their way, they start talking about the weight, right? Hard to make weight. The weight cut is what affected my performance. And I don't know if that's true or not, but all you can do is take him at their word. So as a result, he wants to go up to 147. And he was talking about doing his next match. Now it looks like that is exactly what he's looking to do. But I'll tell you this. Teofimo Lopez trying to become a, three-weight world champion at 27 years old. Good. That's good for him. But I just don't think things are going to work out when he's talking about going after Brian Norman Jr. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Let me show y'all something here, man. When it comes to Teofimo Lopez, right? And I'm just being real. First, let me just say, Teofimo Lopez can fight. He can fight. But where is this, man? Where is it? His, Let me do this right here. He can fight, but I want to show y'all something. This is the problem I have with him messing around with Brian Norman Jr. I'm going to tell y'all right now. Let me show y'all something. Because Brian Norman Jr., man, I think the reason Teofimo's going after him is because Brian Norman Jr. is the lesser known, here it is right here, the lesser known fighter of the four champions at 147 pounds. Now, as this pulls up, I'm gonna explain to you why I think Teofimo Lopez should just have the discipline to make 140. But hey, he's chasing greatness, right? Let me make this a little bit smaller for you. This right here is a problem. Let me scroll on up. Now, this is old big head Teofimo Lopez. 21 wins, 13 KOs. He has one loss, right? He's standing at 5'8", 68.5-inch reach. Okay? So we can just look at that right there. All right? Now, understand. 5'8", 68.5-inch reach. And he's standing about 5'8", right? Now, you come and take a look at Brian Norman Jr. You can see Brian Norman Jr. 5'8". He's got about a 4-inch reach on him. 76% KO ratio, 26 wins, 20 knockouts. He hasn't lost yet. Now, this is what I want to point out right here. Okay, when you look at Teofimo Lopez, right? Let me pull this on over. Okay, when he was fighting at 135, all right. When he fought Nakatani, went 12 rounds, got the unanimous decision. After that, fought Comey in 2 rounds, clipped Comey. Fought Lomachenko, went 12 rounds, got the decision, right? That's when he had Joey Gamache. I keep saying it, I'm like a broken record, so I'm not going to dive into that no more. Anyway, when it was just him and his dad against Cambosos, he lost. Said, all right, it was the weight cut, everything was killing him at 135. He bubbled up, fought Pedro Campa at 140. Everybody was expecting him to get in there and knock out Pedro Campa in devastating fashion. He got a TKO, but not many people agree with the stoppage. But the bottom line is he didn't perform the way people expected. So after that, he goes to Sandor Martin, promises to deliver a highlight reel performance, knock out Sandor Martin. Things don't quite work out the way he expected. He gets a split decision, but many people thought Sandor Martin beat him. Then he goes and he fights Josh Taylor. That goes a whole 12 rounds. Josh Taylor obviously was, at the end of his, I say, roping career and weight drain. And anyway, he couldn't get the job done. But again, Teofimo, he looked good, but he just wasn't the Teo who was at kill at 135. Then he fights Jermaine Ortiz, and he looks like forgot everything that he knew about boxing. And Jermaine Ortiz, in my opinion, if he threw about 10 additional punches around, he wins that fight. Only reason Jermaine Ortiz lost that fight is because obviously the judges felt like he didn't do enough to take him from the champion because he wasn't really letting his hands go as much as he should have. But I think another 10 punches around, he wins that fight. Then Teofimo goes and fights this guy, Steve Claggett. That was his most recent fight. And in my opinion, those scorecards are way too wide. 120, 108, 120, 108, 119, 109. To me, Steve Claggett did enough to at least have the scorecards read differently. Anyway, Teo goes another 12 rounds, and he doesn't really impress anyone. So now he wants to go up and fight this guy, Brian Norman Jr. Coming off of those performances at 140, I don't know what makes him or anyone else think he's going to go up to 147, right? And bang out this guy, Norman Jr., or outbox this guy, Norman Jr. Let me tell you something. This, I feel, is a cherry pick that's going to go wrong for Teofimo. Now, I'm not calling Brian Norman Jr. a cherry. I think they're seeing this as an easy way to get into the 147-pound division and pick up a title. I just don't think Brian Norman Jr. is the guy they should be messing around with. Now, that's just me. Y'all can disagree with me if you want. When you take a look at the 147-pound division and what you got as far as champions, you got Brian Norman Jr., who's going to be fully elevated to the WBO World Welterweight Champion after August 3rd when Crawford faces Madrimov. You got Jerome Boots, you got Mario Barrios, and you got Stanley Eunice. What? I don't care. Then you got Stanley Eunice, okay, who's going to be elevated as well. But for me, with Brian Norman Jr. and what he was able to do to Santillan, that just spoke volumes about Brian Norman Jr.'s. I think the depth of IQ and shows the power, the speed, and his ability to be cool under pressure in the ring. Because Santillan was pointed on thick. But I'm just telling y'all this right here, man. You just don't get to be, 26 wins with 20 KOs unless there's something special about you. Now, when you look at Brian Norman Jr., because we got to be fair, right? Santillan was the biggest win of his career. Before that was a guy named Bocachica, then Quentin Randall, and then, Jesus Campos. So you guys aren't going to know the other names. But the bottom line is, Santillan was the biggest win of his career. The thing about Santillan is everybody, according to that fight, felt Santillan was the biggest threat next to Boots at 147. The way he just totally dismantled Alexis Rocha. But then you got Brian Norman Jr. who came in there and with that crocodile and killed him. So for Teo to come up, I'm telling you, I don't know what Teofimo is going to try to do to Brian Norman Jr. To get a victory. Because I'm telling you right now, Brian Norman Jr. is going to be the champion. I know Teofimo is still the champion at 140, bubbling up, challenging. I think Teofimo is the one who's going to be the favorite in that fight just because of his name, but shouldn't be the favorite to win. But you know how that shit goes. But I just, when I look at this, I think this is a recipe for disaster. I think Teofimo Lopez gets knocked out. I do. And this is the thing, we talk about these weight classes. Teofimo is not that special of a fighter to where he can keep ascending weight classes and picking up championships and dominating. Okay, y'all say, all right, Hood Champion, you're wrong. Okay. Mayweather, De La Hoya, Pacquiao, Sugar Ray Leonard. You know what I'm saying? Shane Mosley. Come on, there's certain guys, when they bubble up to those other weight divisions, you see what they do. They still knock people out. They still make people look like they don't belong in the ring with them. Well, everyone Teofimo's fought, he didn't make anyone look like they didn't belong in the ring with him since he moved to 140. What makes y'all think he's going to make Brian Norman Jr. look like he doesn't belong in the ring with him and he's going to get a victory? I think Brian Norman Jr. is just going to step to him, walk him down, and go put the bing bings on him. Yo, that guy, what was his name? The guy Teofimo just fought, Claggett hit Teofimo too many times. Way too many times. From the first second of the first round. Brian Norman Jr. hits way harder than Claggett. So that's why I'm saying, man, Teofimo Lopez with this shit fighting with his left hand down and shoulder roll, Philly shell, I call it the silly shell. Other people on the internet may be saying the same thing. That shit's going to be detrimental to him. But hey, I know they got some Teo fans out there. somebody even posted something like, "Oh, here you are," young people. I'm used to it now, but it still irritates me. Here you are, the black guy going for Brian Norman Jr. and not Teofimo, to be expected. Look, isn't Teo from Honduras? Look, I'm Honduran too. How about that? Okay, I'm Honduran too. Hell out of here with that bullshit. I just keep it real. I'm hood. I'm the Honduran hood champion. When it comes to talking about Teofimo, get out of here with that racial bullshit. I've explained to you why I think Brian Norman Jr. clips him, because Teofimo hasn't performed at 140, and I just think he's trying to cherry pick that what he feels is the inexperienced Brian Norman Jr. And he's gonna get in there and put the beans on. Anyway, y'all keep cool. You can let me know what you think. Do I think it'd be cool for Teofimo to pick up another belt at another division? Yeah, of course. But I'm telling y'all right now, I just think his run has come to an end. I'm just being honest with you. He better off fighting Sugar and Matias at 140 than going to 147 messing with Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman Jr. can handle business, and I think he's going to show that when he fights, if in fact that fight comes off against Teo. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.